Slipping down, able to counter. Up goes Spears. C4.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and
acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the Red Carpet Ring. We're here to talk about WWE NXT. Stephanie Vaquer forced to relinquish Women's North American Championship. We are talking about NXT for April 1st. Let's chime in, guys. Get the likes up as we come into the ring, guys. We gonna have a good one. We on the road to Stand and Deliver. We definitely on the road there. Stand and Deliver will be a couple weeks away. Same night as the first night of WrestleMania 41. We're going to talk about grading and everything else as far as NXT goes. And, of course, we will talk about what went right, what went wrong with NXT. And we also will talk about bonus round. The bonus round of today is who will be the new Women's North American Champion. Don't want to miss out on that. But before we begin, let's see who came out to the ring tonight. All right, guys, we got House here. We got Good Bread Wrestling. Salute to you. CeeLo, salute to you. DJ, salute to you. Thank you guys for coming out. And of course, as you guys can see, we got a new North American champion. Speaking of that title, but we'll get more to that later. We'll talk about Ricky Saints too. But let's get into it though. Before we do go any further, let's actually talk about the match card for NXT. Now the match card here was Trick Williams and Oba. They had the little they segment, they talk everything, a face-to-face interaction. And then also we had the main event of the North American Championship, Shawn Spears champion defend against Ricky Saints. Let's talk about the show. Let's get into the opening segment. So, opening segment here. We're going to get to the match here, but let's talk about the opening segment. Before we get to this match, we had Ava come out. She came out to the ring. It was Ava and Stephanie Vaquer, the Women's North American Champion. So we had both of those women come out. Ava gave props to Stephanie Vaquer. She admired what she did as champion, because we do know that Stephanie made history last week. She was the first woman to defend not one, but 2 championships in 2 separate matches in one night. And we know she had to defend 2 titles, which would be the Women's North American title and the Women's NXT title. But since Stephanie, while Ava gave her props for defending titles, however, Ava did say, hey, we got a long list of women who want opportunity for the Women's North American title. A lot of women on the roster, as I spoke about, and she said, if we want to be fair, gonna have to vacate the Women's North American Championship. And Stephanie looked all down and stuff and all that, but it was fair she do that. And what she did was she also said too that Stephanie said she want to be fair, vacate the title and everything else, which she did. But meaning also at NXT Stand and Deliver, we will have a 6-woman ladder match, and that ladder match would determine the winner of the Women's North American Championship, vacated championship. And we had a few championship qualifying matches. We had 2, and I think it was a good call by Ava, because I like Stephanie, but let's be real, Stephanie just got to NXT a couple months ago, and there are a long list of women on the roster that was there before. It's not fair for her to get the belt, 2 belts at that, and then no one else gets the opportunity. So I'm glad that they went with that decision. So that was a good call. At least I think so. Yeah, very smart move. Can't have all the gold, Stephanie. I'm sorry. You can't. La Primera, not all of Primera. But let's get on to the first part of the show. Now, the first match of the night, after Stephanie kicks off that, this is the ladder match qualifier match. We had Zari versus Lash Legend. This was a good neck and neck match. Lash Legend came out accompanied by Jakar Jackson, Metaphor. Zari accompanied by, her tag team partner Soruka. A lot of good test of power between Zarya and Lash. They both was getting, it was like an even advantage of the match. Both women was trying to get the upper hand on each other. Very good match. Obviously Lash Legend's a little bit bigger. She had used the torture rack at one point. But Zarya, she held on too. She won the match by a spear. I like Zarya. I thought the match should have been won by Lash Legend. At least give her opportunity again to get the Women's North American title. But we see it didn't go down like that for whatever reason. So, Zarya did win. And with that being said, she is the first woman to qualify for the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. But good match though. And I'm glad she qualified. It's just someone had to take the L, and unfortunately it was Lash Legend. Let's get on to the next match of the show for that matter. Let's get on. All right, next match we got Hank and Tank versus No Catch Quarter Crew. Hank and Tank, very impressive. These boys continue to get better. They got a goofy character, but they could definitely go in the ring. I talked about these guys before. They grew on me. I was not a fan of these goofy guys at first, but No Catch Quarter Crew also played up very well. So this was a solid match. The match was won by No Catch Quarter Crew. Hank and Tank always get close, but I think in the near future, Hank and Tank will eventually be NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm gonna call it now. I think they're gonna have that kind of a storybook ending, similar to, if you guys remember back in the day on SmackDown Live, of Rhino and Heath Slater. So something like that. But I think this was a solid match. However, Hank and Tank did lose to No Catch Quarter Crew. But it was a good match. Let's move on to the next part of the show. All right. Trick Williams, we know he called out Oba Femi. Trick Williams cut a promo. He said that even he's the man of NXT. He said, even if you're NXT champion, I'm still the man. He said, I've been the man since I became my own man, and I sacrificed a lot. even lost a brother in this. Then Javon came out, he cooked him. He told him, Trick, who you think you are? You don't even know your identity. You sound like a Carmelo Hayes. And Trick gave him that look. And Oba came out. He checked Javon and Trick. Trick, it was a good promo segment. But I did like what Trick said. This could tease a return of Carmelo Hayes maybe in the near future. If Trick Williams, they say he may be part of the leader of the Dark State. If not, maybe Carmelo Hayes could return. But this was a good promo segment.
I sacrifice for this.
So he says he sacrificed for a lot of it. But long story short, as these guys were getting into it, we saw Dark State come to the ring. They had dropped Oba. They had dropped Javon. It looked, Trick got in the ring. He stared at him, and they just went in on him too. At the end of the day, they all got that work.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son.
So this was a very good segment. Very good segment of the show between these three. Now, before things did get heated between these three men, I know that Trick wants another shot at the NXT Championship. We know he wants to be champion once again. And we also know that Javon, he said, I did something you could never do, Trick. I dropped Oba. And Oba said, Trick, with all that talking, that's why you're not NXT champion now. Then Ava came out. When Ava came out, she settled it between Javon, Trick, and Oba. Long story short, at Stand and Deliver, Oba Femi will defend the NXT Championship in a triple threat match against Javon and Trick Williams. So that's one official match that we got on the card for Stand and Deliver at April 19th, WrestleMania weekend. Well, than that though, that was it for that segment as far as that goes. But let's move on to the next part of the show. All right, we had another qualifying ladder match for the Women's North American Championship. We saw the return of Roxanne Perez. Her and Kalani Jones talking smack backstage, But this match here, it was actually a good match. Roxanne did a good job putting over Kalani Jordan. We knew that Roxanne Perez, she stated that she would like to be the Women's North American Champion. Kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. Had to realize that hey, that's not going down like that. Kalani had some good points in the match. Her aggression has definitely increased. And Roxanne Perez had her cartwheel knee, but definitely good parts in this match. Definitely good parts in this match as a whole. So I think these two women definitely duked it out. First time I've seen these two fight each other. I don't see Roxanne Perez. If she is on Stand and Deliver, it'll be an undercard match, and it ain't gonna be for no title. But long story short, Roxanne Perez had attempted to pop rocks, and Kalani dodged it, and Kalani Jordan defeated Roxanne Perez as a result of that. And she did it good. She did her thing. I'll give that to Roxanne. It says she did do her thing and shut it down. I will say that along with Zaria, who's the first woman to qualify for the ladder match, we got the second woman of the night to qualify for ladder match. Former, the inaugural Women's North American Champion, Kalani Jordan. So Kalani Jordan is the second person to qualify. A very good, solid match between herself and Roxanne Perez. Last but not least, let's get to the main event of the show. Now, main event we got here is the championship match for the North American Championship. Shawn Spears defended championship against Ricky Saints. And these two are beginning to it. It was real heated last week. I will say that We thought with Shawn Spears having the Culling with Easy Dane, Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, that it was a wrap for Ricky. Ricky, he did everything he could. He put all the fight in there, despite the interference from Brooks Jensen and Vance. And then even to the point, Izzy Dane threw the title, to Shawn Spears, which he did hit Ricky with, but Ricky kicked out. And Ricky was on a tear. He speared everybody, and he delivered one to the champion. And he defeated Shawn Spears with a Rosh Ambo to win the match and to win the championship. And I gotta say, Ricky Starks did his thing. Very good aggression out of him. Started fire out of Ricky, and I like the fight he put up. Ricky proved that he belongs in NXT. I would say. It was a good match. Shawn Spears did everything to take him out. Cheating, which I figure, interference, C4, everything. He did everything he could. It just not was cutting it as a whole. It just wasn't cutting it. And Ricky Starks put up a fight, and it worked out well at the end of the day. So this was good, though. Very good stuff.
Slipping down, able to counter. Up goes Spears. C4.
So congratulations to Ricky Starks, your brand new North American champion. Now, however, he couldn't enjoy his championship for long. He would get interference. Ethan Page come out, attack him, and it's pretty much going to be the next feud for Ricky Starks' first feud as champion against All Ego Ethan Page. And that was all for NXT for this week. More than that, though, very good show. We like I say, we ready for a stand and deliver. So, yeah. But let's see what grading I would give this show as a whole. Will I give good on stand and deliver? I mean, NXT as we prepare for stand and deliver. I would say at the end of the day, I would give the grading a 4 out of 5. We had some good stories told. Brand new champion, which we did not expect. There's been a lot of new champions crowned at WWE lately. Ricky Saints is the most current. And Shawn Spears, his title run ends, unfortunately. He just literally just won that championship. It sucks for him. So I thought he was gonna have a good lengthy reign. But I guess his character don't need it. He probably could be a better chaser for it. But other than that, though, his title reign of Shawn Spears, his title reign, it came ending at only 28 days. One of the shortest title reigns in history. One of the shortest runs in history. But other than that, though, good show. Let's see what people in the community are saying about NXT. All right, we got 78% give it an A, 10% give it a B, 6% also gave it a C and D or F. You guys let me know, what did you think of the show of NXT? Now, since we're done with the show analysis part, we're going to go over the next segment, which we know what went wrong with NXT. What went wrong in this episode? So let's get into that. First thing, a little confused. What show was Roxanne Perez on? One moment we see her on Raw for a little bit. She's on a Raw PLE, Elimination Chamber. Then we don't see her for a while. Then we see her again on NXT. It's like she's floating around. They kept saying Roxanne was going to the main roster. Then it threw me off when I saw NXT again. Like, what show is she on? Just a little confused there, and I don't like that.
What's gonna happen? No. Words?
just made the list.
So that was just a little confusing there. I didn't understand that. Another thing I didn't like. Now we got the Dark State here. I know that they mostly stand in the crowd. They don't really attack. They did this episode. They attacked Trick, Oba, and Javon. I just got a fear that they seem dull at times. I hope, my biggest fear, I hope they do not turn to a Retribution 2.0. This looks like a very bad stable that could make some major noise in NXT. But I'm just saying, hopefully don't come down to that.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
All right, so that's nothing I didn't like. However, we'll move on to what went right with NXT. Some things I did like, of course, obviously. But let's go on to what the things I did like about the show. Trick Williams, it's like he's tapping to his heel character. Every week we see him, he's getting closer and closer to the heel persona. He's going off, he's screaming at people, he's insulted people like Javon, insulted Oba, insulted all babyface characters. At first he seemed like a tweener, but I think he's really getting to heel mode. And we'll probably see him go into full heel mode at the end of the NXT Stand and Deliver match for the NXT title when he do not win. I'd be very surprised if he wins, but if he don't win, I could see him turn to full heel mode. Or if he do win, he's going to win as a heel with help from Dark State or somebody else like maybe Carmelo Hayes. But other than that, Trick Williams is really getting to the character, and I prefer Trick as a heel. And with that, I'm on board with this.
Yeet.
Let's go over another thing I liked about the show. One thing I will say I did like about this episode. Let's get into that now. Another thing, let's talk about it. Ricky Saints. I keep calling him Ricky Starks, but I know he's Saints. Ricky Saints won the North American Championship in a record time under a month. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. When Ethan Page debuted on NXT, within a month when he debuted on NXT roster, he won the NXT Championship. That was a record of someone coming onto NXT and winning a championship. Ricky Starks did less than that. I want to say maybe 3.5 weeks. So that is record-breaking time. Congratulations to Ricky Saints on making history and winning that brand new North American Championship.
Yeet.
So that's one thing I, of course, liked. Speaking of Ricky Starks, Saints, I think this feud with, like I said earlier, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page, it's going to be a great feud. These two have history. They both were in AEW. That's where these guys came from. Right before WWE, and they had a feud there. And I think the chemistry is going to be fire, and it'd be a good feud over the North American Championship. Also, put more prestige on the North American Championship. And again, I'm on board with that. Sign me up.
Yeet.
That's another thing I did like about this as well. Other than that, though, that's all I had regarding what went wrong and what went right. Now we're going to move on. We're going to go to the current news, shall we? Well, I'm sorry, before we do that, let's talk about next week's matches on NXT. Next week's matches are as follows. Let's see what the next matches are. These are the matches that are advertised for next week. We got ourselves a 6-man tag match. Oba, NXT champion, Javon Evans and Trick Williams will go against Dark State, 3 to 4 members, more likely the first 3, and I think the other guy will be in the back. One-on-one match, Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker, first time ever. So definitely, I think this is going to be a good card. Jada and Jordan, they've been fighting back and forth. They was fighting all throughout the show. Like, Jada attacked Jordan. Jordan attacked Jada. A fighting back and forth. Expect these two to have a good feud. If you don't end next week, they're definitely gonna have it at Stand and Deliver, possibly. But we'll see what happens next. But other than that, let's get to the current news. If you guys didn't know, we got breaking news. Multiple sources have confirmed that PW Insider, that Miro, Rusev and WWE was present at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut throughout the day on April 2nd. According to the report, Miro has re-signed a contract with WWE, and his visit was focused on preparing for his return to the company. His wife, CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana, was reportedly not with him during the visit. While his specific on-camera return date remains unknown, Miro is confirmed to be back within WWE fold. This is amazing news. I'm glad that Miro's coming back to WWE because he was definitely underutilized while he was in AEW for all that time. So I'm glad he's back. This is breaking news. Definitely something good to hear. I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad he's with the company. Hopefully Rusev Day come back. Hopefully we get the Bulgarian Brute, a foreign heel, the Russian foreign heel. I really can see Triple H and the creative team doing something really magical with him. He could either go back to NXT, maybe. Whatever he do, he definitely always had a great character. He was never used to his full potential. But with that being said, I'm glad to see Rusev back. Rusev Day. So I'm trying to get my 8 in English on, but definitely good. Well, other than that, though, we're going to switch gears, guys, and we're going to head on to the bonus round. Definitely head there. All right, guys, we're going to start the bonus round here. Now, we know that we do not have a Women's North American champion at this current time. We know the title was vacated. We know that Stephanie could not continue to have not one but 2 belts. So she had to relinquish one, and that won't be the Women's North American Championship. But we're going to talk about the whole thing about this bonus round. Who's going to be crowned the brand new Women's North American Champion. So let's talk about it. Well, thing about it is, guys, this title is important. They try to build a prestige out this title. They're trying to do everything they can to make this title respectable, and they've been doing that. And I think they've done a good job so far. So I have no problem with that. One thing is, just like I talked about before, we have a lot of women on the roster. A lot of women there. We got to see how this is going to go. Got to see how the whole thing's going to go down. Now, we before I know the title's only been out, I want to say maybe not even a year, because the title was unveiled this time last year, but we didn't really get to the first full reign of the title since last June at Battleground. But with that being said, we're going to go over a quick history lesson over this championship. And we're going to do that right now. We're going to see the whole history behind it. If you guys don't know, like I say, I know it's a short history. We're going to talk about it anyway. All right, the history of this title is as follows. If we look right here, Kalani Jordan, the inaugural champion, she did win the championship in the ladder match last year in NXT Battleground Las Vegas. She had the championship for 140 days. Now she will hold on to that belt until NXT Halloween Havoc in 2024, which she would lose the championship to Fallon Henley. She had it for 111 days. She will lose it till this year's NXT Vengeance Day to Stephanie Walker, the last champion who had it for 45 days. So Stephanie only had the belt for a month and a half, and now it's vacated. No champion as of April 1st. But the thing is, who's going to be the first champion? Who's going to win this title? Well, I got myself a list here, and we're going to go over down the list, shall we, of who's going to win this title. Well, we got to go over one. Zarya. Zarya could be a possibility. We got to remember Zarya. She did go on. She won a qualifying match. She's officially going to be in a stand and deliver match. So she like a great possibility. Zarya, I know she's tied to the tag team with Sol Ruka. She's been looking solid in her matches. Could she be the one to win a ladder match? Because she's also new too. She hasn't been in NXT that long, but I don't see her getting near the NXT Women's Championship at this moment. I think her being to the North American title, makes sense since they got Jordan and Stephanie and all them. I'm not saying she can't never get there ever, but I don't see her getting there now. She could be a possibility. So that's one name I'll throw out there. Another name I'll throw out there, Gab will show respect, the inaugural champion, Kalani Jordan. She did hold on to the belt first. And also, not just that, Kalani did qualify for the ladder match for Stand Deliver, as well as Zarya. Now, Kalani, as I stated already, held on to the belt for 140 days. She had a very solid run. She defended the championship against the likes of Sol Ruka. She defended against other women, I think Carmen Petrovic and a few others, before losing to Fallon Henley. We know Fallon Henley had the fatal influence to cheat on her behalf. But could she be the first two-time Women's North American champion in history? That remains to be seen, but could be a possibility because NXT and the whole WWE has been throwing us curveballs all year since January. So that could be a possibility, though. Could very well be. So you never know what it could be. You just never know. Kalani could win this match again. I know she won the first ladder match. Maybe lightning does strike twice. Just saying. Let's go on to other people in the match. Lola Vice. They keep forgetting about Lola. Everybody forgot about Lola. Now, Lola did state she wants to fight for the NXT Championship. If Lola does not capture the NXT Championship, NXT Women's Championship from Stephanie, if she does not go for that belt, which I don't see her winning right now, I could see her winning this belt at some point. Maybe she qualifies for the women's ladder match alongside Kalani and Zarya, and maybe this could be a good first championship for Lola Vice, because I said it before, I say it again. Lola was very, very close last year in defeating then champion Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. She was just so close. But we already know the old saying almost doesn't count. But I can see her getting there. Throw a couple more names. I got a few more names I want to mention. Another name, Sol Ruka. This woman has been putting over all of the talent in NXT. Anytime a woman wants to qualify for a match or be a number one contender for any title, the Women's North American title or the NXT Women's Championship, they always go through Sol Ruka. And not only that, Sol Ruka made them look like $1 billion because she's such a good worker, very agile. She got the soul snatcher. I call the female RKO. Maybe Sol Ruka could shock us and win the ladder match at Stand Deliver if she qualifies, of course. And you gotta remember, Sol Ruka was the first person, person that Kalani Jordan did defend the Women's North American Championship against after Kalani won at Battleground last year. And she made Kalani look good. And I believe Sol Ruka was in that ladder match last year for their inaugural championship at Battleground. who to say so Ruka can finally get her moment in NXT. She's definitely one of the best talents out there. Very underrated. I would like to love to see her win a title. Another person I'm gonna mention, Cora Jade. Now, Cora Jade, she's been bouncing around lately with TNA Impact. She was just on TNA Sacrifice fighting for the TNA Knockouts Championship against champion Masha Slamovich, which she was unsuccessful. She did not capture the title. Now, Cora Jade could, similar to Lola Vice, she could go out for the NXT Women's title right now. If she don't, maybe she finds her way to qualify for this ladder match and maybe win. She could win. She could win. Cora still has not won a single championship in WWE. And that's something Roxanne had talked about not too long ago, which upset Cora. And that's when Cora was on her tear. Maybe Cora could be the one to win it too. You know, but last but not least, another name I could not forget. How could we forget Miss Jada Parker? I can't forget about Jada. Jada, of course, just got through finishing challenging for the NXT Women's Championship against Stephanie Vaquer last week, which she did not win the title. I don't see her getting another championship opportunity, but I do see Jada going out for the Women's North American title. She could also qualify for this match. And maybe she shocks us all by getting her first championship in WWE by getting this title. Because like I said, with Stephanie Vaquer, with her, you know, making history, having both belts, with her doing that, and with her, you know, now that we know for certain that Stephanie Vaquer has vacated this title, we know we got a guaranteed new champion. And Jada just fought Stephanie for the NXT Women's title. Maybe Jada could be the one to do it. And it's a long list of names of women that can do it. I mean, now, I'm not going to say, but with the exception of Kalani and Zarya, who already qualified, I'm not saying all these women will qualify for the ladder match at Stand Deliver. But take your pick. Who's winning the vacated Women's North American title? Kalani, Zarya, Lola Vice, Soruka, Cora Jade, or Jada Parker. Who's winning this? Well, only time will tell at NXT Stand and Deliver. Only time will tell. But other than that, though, guys, that's all I have for who's winning. Who's winning the vacated Women's North American Championship? Because we need a new champion. And we also talk about WWE NXT. Stephanie Vaquer forced to relinquish Women's North American Championship. You guys let me know what you thought of NXT and also what you thought about who's going to win this vacated title April 19th in Las Vegas. Check out the content here at Red Carpet Rain, guys. Thank you all for coming out. Until then, you already know what it is. It's O-U-T.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired, but this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and